Hey everybody, it's Izzy, or as you know me, tarotcardsandtea.tumblr.com. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to basically interpret a card when an interpretation just isn't coming to you. I feel like this is something that a lot of us, if we haven't experienced firsthand, it's something that we're very afraid is going to happen, getting stuck in that rut and not really sure how to get out of it. So the first way, and this is, I feel like, one of the easier ways to go about this, is to basically talk to your client about what is going on in that card. Really tell the story, talk about the imagery and what that means. Really pick it apart, dissect it in whatever way you have to, and pull from those images particular divination or divinatory meanings, and really use the story to jumpstart your reading. Because sometimes you'll find that once you get your mouth going, you've got it. It just sort of pops into your head out of nowhere. So sometimes all it takes is, taking that first step, and then by some means you end up there. This next one, this is one that I find myself doing a lot, and that is transcribing cards. So if you're working with a particular deck and that depiction of a particular card just doesn't work for you, you can, in your head, think of another deck's depiction of the card that maybe does work for you. I find myself doing this a lot with the Wild Unknown. I don't find the depictions particularly helpful when it comes to the meanings. So when I pull a card from the Wild Unknown that doesn't sit right with me, I'll think of another deck and how they show the card. For instance, the Four of Chalices in the Wild Unknown. They depict it as a series of 4 cups and then a rat on top of it. And that doesn't work for me. But what does is Prismavisions, which is a person sort of curled up under a tree. And the way that the Prismavisions deck works is it's a panorama. So that person is looking at the 3 of cups and that sort of that unity and that working together. And they have sort of this longing and almost, I don't want to say distaste, but there's a certain bitterness there. But that depiction works really well for me. So if you find that one deck doesn't work, sometimes it helps to look up other decks and see if that depiction maybe works better for you. This next one, this really only works if you're doing satellite readings, in the fact that you're not sitting with your client in real time, whether it be video chat or face-to-face. That is to just get up and walk away. If you can, and you have the time, just get up, take a breather. Tarot is a very creative thing, and if your creative juices aren't flowing, you're not going to be able to provide the best reading possible. And I feel like that's something that as readers we want to be able to do, is give our clients the best reading that we can. And if you're not into it, odds are it's going to come off in your interpretation. It's not going to be as in-depth, it's not going to be as genuine, it's just not going to shine the way the rest of your reading does. So if you can, get up, take a stroll, drink some tea, watch some Netflix, do whatever you have to do to just take a break and come back to it. There's nothing saying that you can't do that. And this last one, I have a feeling I'm going to get a little bit of hate for this, but I don't care. I really don't care. If you absolutely have exhausted all options and the interpretation still isn't coming to you, look it up. Seriously, just look it up. There's no rules saying you can't use reference material in tarot. I know we all want to be able to read it 100% from memory, but there's nothing saying you have to. There are 78 cards, and if you read reversals, there's 78 of those too. And then not to mention, all different decks depict things differently, so there might be some slightly different nuances from deck to deck. So there's nothing against going to a book or going to the internet and checking it out and just get some keywords, and that'll, help you jumpstart your reading. It'll give you direction. There's nothing saying that you have to be perfect. Do whatever you have to get that reading done, because at the end of the day, I think that's what we really all want to do, is we want to get our readings done, and we want to get them done well, and we want to help people the best way that we can. And if you find that you need to allow yourself permission to use reference materials, that is okay. It doesn't make you any less of a reader if an interpretation doesn't pop in your head for whatever reason. You really just Be gentle on yourself. It's a journey. Tarot is a journey, and it's an intimate one, and it's not going to happen overnight. So if you need tips and tricks and reference materials to get an interpretation when one just isn't coming to you, don't be afraid to use them.